Hi, great to be with you again. Thanks for joining me today. We're going to look at number 6 in the Pottag book. This is another allegretto, something that's light. And there are a couple things about this that I want you to be listening for and practicing. A lot of trumpet players have trouble with light styles, and I think the reason is, as was the case for me, when I grew up playing, I was, playing lead in the big band. In the jazz band, and I was playing principal in the concert band, and we had a great music program in my high school. Shout out to Burn Hills Ballston Lake High School in New York. At that time, which was many years ago now, it was an excellent music program, and we were always like top contenders and usually winners in both the concert band and the jazz band division, which is great. So I'm very fortunate to have grown up in a program like that. And our band director was very demanding, and that was good for me, except that for a lot of young players, they're forced to play or choose to play beyond what they're physically capable of. It's kind of like what happens in sports. You push it, and sometimes you can get injured or you can develop bad habits. That happens to most players. It certainly happened to me. So a lot of the difficulties that you hear in my playing is because that my misspent youth was basically spent playing a great deal loud and in the upper register and in pop, jazz, rock styles. And there's nothing wrong with that. I just wasn't physically prepared to do it, and I didn't learn how to play properly until I got to college, really. And I kept playing that funky jazz music too. After college, while I was in college and after college. So that had an influence because, you see, you almost never have to play soft, and you very rarely have to play light. So all these little tunes in the Pottag book are the kind of thing that, professional lead players and other commercial players, with the possible exception of people who play on Broadway, for example, which is more like an orchestra job, where you have to have a very wide range of styles and physical capabilities. But people that are, if I were playing in Tower of Power, you're just pretty much playing the same way all the time. And then you have to practice in order to bring these kinds of things into your playing. And the players I really admire are, players like Arturo Sandoval, who, although he plays, kind of music that's on steroids, you might say, in terms of the range and the power, his facility and his dynamic range and his ability to do nuance on the instruments he's never lost that. And that's something that you commercial players or jazz players, or lead players, you want to think about that. Do these things as a way to maintain those skills. Okay, enough talk. I'm going to play and then practice for you again. And I'll show you a little bit what I'm talking about with these, with the stylistic stuff, with the articulation. Okay, that felt a little rough to me, but see, all our playing, no matter how much experience we've had, is a work in progress. We're just trying to touch that point of facility where we're free to express the music. So, what are some of the things you should listen for? There are a lot of ways to separate notes, and we'll talk about this in more detail when if you look at the fundamentals, the foundations part of the website. There are two ways to stop a note. da, 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 exactly like you would do with your voice. One way you never want to stop the note with your voice or on the trumpet is da, 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 da. And a lot of trumpet players do that. So they go da, 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 da. You see my throat's closed. So don't do that. You can do it da, 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 da. Your breath is poised. You just it's a great skill. It takes a lot of practice to develop if you don't already have it. Okay. Now, another way you can do this is to stop the air with the tongue. And a lot of teachers say don't do this. They call it a tongue cutoff. Don't do it if it sounds rough. But if you can do it very, very lightly, it's da 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 da. Not ta ta ta. See how that's still open? Da 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 da. And that's really the easiest way to do it. But you can't overdrive the air. It should be the same as you would be if playing piano in the middle and lower register. So I'm going ta 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 ta, but not overblowing. Again, more detail when you look at foundations, breath control, tongue control, embouchure control, all these fundamentals of playing. So again, you have some things that could be causing technical difficulty in this one. They're kind of designed that way. So you're going very quick movement on a lip slur. That causes people a lot of people trouble. You're going from forte again down to piano. So work on these things one at a time. Take it apart. Look into the Arbin book, the Schlossberg book, the Clark Studies book, any books that you're using that work for you, where you can get in and work on those specific things that you see are problems in your playing. What I would work on here, to be honest with you, is like in the last line. See, that articulation just doesn't feel comfortable to me. And I'll tell you a little secret. As far as I can tell, tongue speed, I've really tried to figure this out, is kind of individual. Some people can flutter tongue, for example. Some people cannot flutter tongue. Some people have an extremely quick single tongue. I had a student, a high school student, when I was playing with the orchestra in Columbus, and she could tongue faster than 16th notes at 160 on the metronome. And that's something I've never been able to do, and as far as I can tell, I don't know how to develop that capacity. Now, Herbert Clark did. He developed it patiently. But there are some of us, me, Tim Morrison, Bill Vacchiano, and many, many other players whose tongue is just not that fast. And we have to figure out different ways to do it. So develop all the tongue speed and agility, quickness, lightness, accuracy that you can, and you don't know what your capabilities are until you try. By now, I'm pretty sure of my capabilities, although I still keep trying to develop it. It's not just about speed, it's about getting into a groove where things operate smoothly and comfortably so that you're not worried about the tonguing at all. And also develop good multiple tonguing. Again, check out Foundations. I'll get into all that stuff in that section of the website. Okay. Yeah, I think that pretty much covers it. I hope that gives you some good material to work on. And again, feel free to go through, and I know it takes a little bit of time to watch the video, but make notes for yourself, give yourself kind of a practice assignment, do some listening again, and then do some imitation. And I think that will help you a tremendous amount. Okay, stay with it and enjoy your work. I'll see you later on. Bye-bye.